Let's move to the 3:30 kickoff window here Eastern time on Saturday. This one on ESPN2, UCF at Tulane. Tulane is a 2-point home favorite, total of 54 in this one. And with such a big slate of college football games, Brett, I know it's not as juicy as it was last week, but when you circle UCF Tulane out of all the other games that everybody's going to be watching on Saturday, there must be something specific that you like in this game.
Well, it's because they're two ranked teams, and this is for the battle of the AAC right now. The winner of this is in control of it, and Tulane has been playing terrific football. The only loss that they have this year is in a severe letdown spot after they upset Kansas State. Otherwise, they've been playing rock solid, and the rankings are reflecting that. They're in the top 20 now. That's great. This probably should have been where game day could have gone, but they didn't, but that's fine. It's game day in our hearts. Power ratings actually favor UCF by 1.6 on the road, which is interesting considering Tulane is favored by 2. And the reasons that the power ratings like UCF is because they're excellent. They've been playing great football lately. They're actually the number 1 red zone defense. They're only allowing scores, touchdowns, or field goals on 61.8% of trips, less than 62%. So that means they're almost 38% of the time, over 38% of the time, teams are coming away with 0 points in the red zone against UCF, and that's a big deal. I think that, I like to look at red zone scoring. I like to look at red zone defense and third downs. So shifting over to third down, Tulane is a very good third down team on defense. They're allowing, I think they're 40th in the nation in opposing conversion rate, but UCF is a top 20 team when converting third down. So already we're looking at UCF, excellent in red zone defense and excellent converting third downs. Those are two things I like to look for in winners. And UCF has just kind of shown me a little bit more this season. When they lose, it's because John Rice Plumlee is turning the ball over at an exceptionally high rate. And Tulane doesn't really force a ton of turnovers, and they've had a lot of turnover luck. They're recovering in above average number of fumbles, and they're forcing interceptions, which is pretty skill-based, but does fall on the quarterback's shoulders a bit, a much more above average interception rate. So turnover luck, just kind of a rock solid UCF team here. Excellent quarterbacks don't really hurt UCF. They've played against a bunch of them, and Tulane does field Michael Pratt, who's excellent, but usually those excellent quarterbacks aren't the ones that are beating UCF. It's usually UCF beating themselves. That's an option that could happen in this game, but I don't know if I'd factor the fact that UCF could or could not beat themselves into handicapping this game. And Yulman Stadium, it's one of the newer ones in the FBS that's home to Tulane. One of the smaller ones. It's not really a daunting atmosphere. I think it sits about 30,000. I've been there. It's just not the biggest. It's not Death Valley. UCF plays in much tougher spots. Their own stadium themselves is a much tougher spot to play than Yulman Stadium. So I think I'm looking for UCF outright, and DraftKings has plus EV on their money line at plus 115. If you do the conversion, 2.5 points comes out to about 112 on the money line. So if you're looking at a 115, I'm comfortable pulling that. I like UCF here. Tulane's fun. I think the run's over.